What's going on, you guys? It's your girl, Miley Carter. So today's video is going to be a story time, and if you follow me on Instagram, y'all, I know I told you guys 2 weeks ago that I was going to be putting out a story time. This story time is going to be a story time that is honestly, I would say it's going to be a trilogy, but it's going to be a fucking plethora of story times to even follow this one specific story time, since bitches would like to do story times about Miley Carter. And as you guys know, one thing about me, I've never been afraid ever in my life to disclose anything that I have done, been through, said, yada yada yada. I'm not afraid of telling any fucking thing, okay? I am very authentic as long as it's not crossing the boundaries of what I feel people personally should know about me. But when it comes to clearing the air, I'm down, like, all bets are off. You know, I don't even play those type of games. I don't play about my name, brand, or anything else considering Miley Carter to be tarnished, okay? Because I've worked my ass off for what little I do actually have, you know? So, as you guys know, I lived in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm trying to decide if I want to just even say this bitch name, but we're gonna call this bitch Werewolf, since she likes to morph into different fucking characters and don't know who the fuck she is, nor do he have his own motherfucking identity, okay? These bitches be having identity problems. So, I was living in Atlanta, right, as you guys know, and me and somebody that I was super close with, we were sisters, we were living together, right? And I can say this person's name. So y'all know me and Bella was living together. If you know, then you know. Me and Bella was living together or whatever. And at this point, it was both our first apartment in Atlanta, yada yada yada. We were excited. About 7-8 months had went down the line, you know, of us being in the apartment or whatever. I think we were like 22-ish. I was 22, Bella was like 21. Or maybe I was 23, she was 22. I can't really fucking remember. So anywho, we ended up wanting to move into a better apartment, in a bigger apartment, because it just wasn't enough space. And also, I needed a third room because it was two of us. We had our own separate rooms, and then I needed a third room for just a content creating room as well. You know, we were doing OnlyFans at the time. Both of us was doing OnlyFans slowly, or starting it up, trying to. So that was gonna be the room for that as well, right? We're gonna dial back. Just remember the synopsis in the pre-story I just gave y'all, right? And when I tell y'all, this is why I be so fucking scared of befriending people, because I'm such a sweet person. I'm so damn genuine, and I'm not just saying that just to say it. I literally, especially during those times of my life, like I was literally like super fucking understanding. I was naive to a lot of things, but still kind of still aware, just because of certain things that fucking happened to me in the past or whatever. But this particular person has been somebody who's paid for workshops for me. Bitch was a fucking fan of me. You know, I've never called people fans, but this bitch was a fan of me, okay? This werewolf was a fucking fan of me, okay? So, we weren't friends. Let's start there. And that's honestly where I even fucked up, just think about the whole thing. In general, we was in Richmond, Virginia. Me and Bella had came to Richmond because it was a ball. You know, we are in ballroom, so it was a ball or whatever. This person was just starting to get their feet wet in ballroom. I had already been in ballroom for a couple years at this point, right? So this person had seen me and Bella. This person had seen me and Bella at the after hours spot, because you know the ball had happened or whatever, right? Y'all know I told y'all in previous videos, like a couple years ago, that I did have my fair share of trying coke. Just put it out there, I have no shame in my game. I tried coke, did it a few times. I really can count on one hand how many times I did coke. And as bitches love to say, yes, I did it with your favorites here on YouTube as well. Tried it, bitch, I was young, bitch, I'm still young. And, you know, bitch, I was just trying, you know, trying it, bitch, whatever. Time I was at the after hours spot in Richmond, whatever. I was doing my own thing with my own drugs, whatever. I already had been doing a few months or whatever. And this particular person came up to me because they had just gotten a set or whatever, and they basically be around me and Bella or whatever. And we were going outside. So I was going outside to partake in doing coke, right? But there were a plethora of other people who was already outside and they was doing coke. They been doing coke too, tried coke, yada yada yada. So Miley Carter didn't influence no bitch to do no coke, cause that bitch, that's a werewolf. They swear she's a fucking doll. Bitch, you're not mother doll. You're not head of nobody's fucking dolls. Bitch, you don't even look like a fucking doll. This person made a YouTube video about me, okay? This person made a fucking YouTube video about me and talking about something, they got more story time to tell about me, all this other shit. But we're gonna get there, okay? We're gonna get there, boo. This person was at the after hours set, and when they already had got there, they was with their house members, okay? From the House of West. They was with their house members from the House of West that were leaders and some more shit that they was in the fucking car with. And they all had already been doing coke. So this particular person is a fucking werewolf. He wanted to be liked and wanted to be in the scene and in the mix so fucking bad, and wanted to be fab and feel fab and all this other shit so fucking bad that they were in the car and that was their first time doing coke, so they came inside the after hours set wanted to do more coke. And most of the time when bitches try coke for the first time, they gonna start freeloading off of other bitches' coke. So I had my own bags or whatever, and I was doing my own thing outside. This person followed me outside, and they was doing the coke as well with me, right? So that was basically the sum of that. That bitch tried to lie and say that I persuaded him to do cocaine. I would never in my life persuade anybody to do any fucking thing. Bitch, I wouldn't even tell you, oh, here you go, bitch, try weed. Like, bitch, if that's not what you do, that's not what you do, because I would not want nobody to do that to me. I've been in New York before, and I've had experiences when I literally had tried coke for the first time, and then somebody was offering me K2. Not to mention, once again, as bitches like to say, this is somebody that's one of y'all favorites that be on TV and everything, and offered me K2. Bitch, you do the math. So I wouldn't want that, and I didn't like that experience because don't offer me no shit. I didn't ask you for it, so don't offer me that. You know? And especially you being someone older than me, why the fuck would you even offer me that anyway? Speaking of older, this dude decided to speak on Miley fucking Carter, bitch. You're older than me, so at this fucking point, you definitely knew what the fuck you want to do anyway, okay? I didn't have nobody no fucking bag, bitch. I didn't tell nobody that, bitch, oh, you're gonna do a bag, all this other shit. No, bitch, you slid your ass in the fucking circle and was doing coke with all of us. So that was our time of hanging out, right? Just for that brief, like, 30 minutes, hour, whoop-de-whoop, okay? The life was cute. I had a good time, bitch. I was drunk, I was high, bitch, I was feeling it, okay? And as the bitches like to say, bitch, I was feeling fab, I was feeling lovely. Particular person moved to Atlanta or whatever, didn't have nowhere to go. They actually was with one of their best friends, and their best friend lived in Houston at the time. And they were complaining to me for multiple weeks about their own best friend. And one thing about it, that should have been a red flag. Because one thing about me, I do not trust bitches who will talk about their best friends to a bitch that barely know them like that, to a bitch that is even their friend. Because one thing about it, I should know your best friend business. If that's your motherfucking best friend, bitch, I should know your best friend business. So that's where red flag number fucking one was. The bitch was telling me about her best friend and saying that he basically was about to give her out his place soon, so he said, and that he was making it unbearable for her to stay because he really want much space. So they was living with their best friend, like I said, bitch. They was complaining to me for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And mind you, me and Bella had already been talking about moving out to a bigger place or whatever, because we already had got approved. And of course, you know, we was gonna have a 3-bedroom anyway, right? So this particular person came to Atlanta. It was like a Pride weekend or some shit like that in Atlanta. They came, allowed the person to stay at my place for the time being, of why they were in Atlanta. Because you know, when bitches come to Atlanta or different other spots and there be big festivities going on, they be trying to figure out, they be trying to have places to stay for free. You know, which that wasn't a fucking big deal. Long story short, mind you, that was like February or whatever. I think by like, because they stayed with us, he stayed with us in January, February, I think that was, February was like when we moved into that new place. And then March or April, it had been probably, I think it was around March or April. I want to say it was around April, early April. I had sent them a text when I went out to dinner or whatever, and I basically was like, I ended up going out by myself to the bar or whatever. It was I think I was at Chili's or something. I was either at Chili's or Applebee's or someplace. I went and I was at their bar or whatever. And I had sent them a text and I basically was like, you know, which I could have just probably should have just said when I went back to the house, but I don't think they wasn't there though. So I had sent them a text or whatever, and I had basically said that, you know, that they have to go. In the midst of them being at my apartment, they were causing trouble with my roommate. They were threatening to say it, how they'll beat her up and all this other stuff. And bitches, it was like a bullying thing. Like they kept saying like, how, bitch, I'll beat you up and da 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 da. And it was just too much. Like I said, it was just too much. Like you're not just dealing with one person that's living with you, that you're living with. This is two people. Things that may not bother me, may be bothering her. Things I could have dealt with a little bit longer, she might not have been able to, you know? So she was complaining to me about things and basically said she wanted her to go. So I was the one that had to, you know, kick the boot, give the boot. I wasn't the one who said, okay, this bitch really have to go. You know, it was my roommate who said, I want her to go. So I sent the text and I said, you have to go. I said, I can give you until like the end of the week. It was like a Tuesday. I said, I can give you until the end of the week or whatever. Do you think you can find somewhere? I said, you could do what I did. When I first started, I had went and rented out a room and all of that. I can show you the places, you know, the sites and things like that you can find rooms, etc. So it wasn't like I just fucking kicked this bitch out and said, you have to go tonight. Right? So, but they made it seem like to one of their friends that that's what the fuck it was given. And I think they did end up leaving that night or whatever. And then from then on in, they went to go stay with somebody who we mutually knew, I guess for like 2 days. And then she was going around, he started going around talking shit about me. Said, oh, I kicked him out and all this other shit, and I'm fake, and I'm weird, and I'm a weird bitch. Like, literally bad-mouthing my motherfucking name through the Atlanta streets, bitch. And I was hearing this shit for a good fucking 2 years. People saying this bitch was going around Atlanta talking about me. So at that point, that's when a different side of me started to come out, because y'all bitches gonna stop playing with me. Like, I was not the bitch that was there for y'all bitches head and fucking foot. I don't like that. Because when it comes to me and my friends or associates or anybody that's fucking around me, bitch, I'm going to be there for you, bitch. I'm going to pour into you like a motherfucker. No bitch that was ever my friend, no bitch that I ever called brother, sister, whatever the fuck could ever say that I was not fucking there for them. That I was not genuine. That I was not a real bitch. Or that I ever did some real weird shit to them. No bitch could ever say that. And that's the motherfucking fact, bitch. That's not no fucking opinion. And since we want to fucking talk about stories, bitch, let's talk about how you sexually assaulted multiple of my fucking friends. No means no, bitch. No means no. Since we want to go on YouTube and tell fucking stories, bitch, let's really talk about how you are a fucking sexual abuser. You're a habitual fucking sexual abuser. I think that meth that you was on, bitch, that you got called out for being on, bitch, I think that's starting to get to you. Maybe that's why you lost all that weight dramatically. Out of the blue. Because we know it won't Ozempic. You let those drugs and the lifestyle ruin yourself that you desperately wanted to be a part of. But see, the thing about me, in comparison to you, I've always been me. I've always been very authentic. I've always lived in my truth. I never wanted to be anybody else but myself. I don't walk around and pretend that I'm the most fabulous bitch in the world. I walk around with a humble shoulder. A humble one. And you gagged. Because I told you once before, the scene that you desperately want to be a part of is very weird. They will build you up and tear you down. And that's why now, people don't live for you. Because they've seen how nasty and spiteful and malicious and trifling and vindictive and manipulative you actually are. I honestly pray for you that you do have a successful career in being a hairstylist. I pray that you do have a successful life. Genuinely. We could have put our separate ways after me telling you had to leave. And still been cordial. Or cool. But no, you wanted to go around talking shit about me. You came back to our house after we kicked you out because the same person you had an issue with me but wouldn't address me about it. But the person that wanted you kicked out, you befriended them and tried to get closer, even closer to them. And then when you were there at our house, you talking about some, oh, I'm not gonna need my mace or anything, is it? Will you? Will you? What you need mace for, bitch? You scared of little old me? I'm smaller than you, baby. Always have, always will be. Even when you went on that show and said the things she said and tried to paint the story that she painted, I left that alone. But one thing you will not be able to do is to come on this platform that I started my brand on, that's home to me, and come on this bitch and disrespect me. That's the very last thing any bitch will be able to do without me saying anything. It was the last straw for me because I allowed you to drag my name through the fucking Atlanta streets for filth. You weird ass bitch. And you could make your multiple story times, etc. We all have stories to tell, don't we? So you let me know how you want to do this. You let me know how you want this story to end and to unfold. Make sure your next move is your best move. Because I would hate to have to beat your ass. And that's not a threat. That's a promise. As always, don't forget to follow me on all social media at Miley Carter. Go stream my new song, Monument. It's on all streaming platforms. I'll have a link down below. I love y'all so much. I'll see you next time.